Hello. I'm Jake on the Green. I'm reviewing this. Going to be talking about the first Spider-Man movie from 2002. Now get comfortable. I'm going to talk everything as I need to talk about this movie. The good and the bad and the ugly and the blah 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 blah. All the above. I'm going to talk about my nitpicks and all of them in this video. Going to go through what I liked and hated, didn't get, and confused me for choices. What I didn't like is that they made the web shooters a little different. They're not mechanical like they are in the, not like they are in the, you know, the comics or the cartoons, and in this later live action Spider-Man movies had the web shooters mechanical, and I kind of wish the Spider-Man still had mechanical web shooters. But instead he has organic web shooters. And, that I thought was a kind of a dumb change, not really a necessary change. I mean, they went for with the iconic costume design. It's strange how they went with the iconic web shooter idea, making the web shooters mechanical instead of organic. But no, they made them organic for the movie for some reason. I don't understand. I know it's stupid change. I never cared for the organic web shooters. That was stupid, unnecessary change. I didn't like it when they changed it in the 616 comics for a period of time, and I didn't like it when they changed it to the movie. I'm not really sure which changed it first, the comics or the movie first. What did first change it? That gave one of the organic web shooters. I'm not really sure which did first right now. I didn't look up that information. Probably should have looked it up before starting this video. Anyway, also, I thought it was kind of a lame decision not to go with the comic book design of Green Goblin costume if he went with the comic book design of Spider-Man costume. I mean, I think Green Goblin's, if you went with the comic book design of Green Goblin's costume, it would have fit the tone of the movie, of the lighthearted tone, the tone of the movie, because the whole tone feels like a toy commercial. And I would buy the toy of the I mean, I can see kids wanting to buy a toy of the real Green Goblin costume from the comics instead of, well, the Green Goblin costume that is worn for the movie. It's kind of Well, this isn't like it's not bad. It's just nothing fun to and visually interesting to look at. It's just green armor, and he wears his mask that makes his green armor mask and to make his face look like a gargoyle, unexpressive gargoyle face. Face mask it comes with a costume in the live action version representation of Green Goblin. I mean, I don't know why did they still think that this. I guess they thought if they wanted the cartoon design from the comics, they thought it would be too silly, but look, you already got Spider-Man's cartoon design from the comics. Why not just go all out with both the villain also? You know? I thought it was stupid. Because Spider-Man's design's fine, because it's right straight up the comics design. Looks, it's like they got the comic colors right, and the Spider-Man costume's fine, all but the Green Goblin costume, I don't know, it just doesn't look like a costume. It looks like more like a shitty armor. It just looks like shitty armor. And to me, that's not really fun. That's kind of lame, I thought. I mean, it's not terrible. It's the worst idea in the world. This is more. It just doesn't fit the tone of what the rest of the movie goes for. Because this feels like a comic book movie. The whole tone of it feels lighthearted and probably in a comic book tone, like the Christopher Reeve Superman movie. Is what this movie feels a lot like in tone for origin story. And it's also trying. It's like a decent origin story, I guess. But and it's also trying to be this like the first part half is the origin story, the other half is basically this Spider-Man epic of a story, where it's him going up against the Green Goblin. And I like the Green Goblin, how the Green Goblin's glider looks in live action. But I don't really like the changes they went with the costume, how the final design the costume was, or the mask itself. And, I don't really like, I don't mind the changes they did with the glider, the Green Goblin glider design. That looked like a cool design, like something from the, like a cool take on like the glider from the comics. Like they got the main color, right? Purple, you know? For the Green Goblin's glider. And I like the fact the glider actually does I like the fact instead of like the Green Goblin is kind of a comic vibe. I know. I remember, and also I remember he he looked a little different in the comics than he did in the live action movie with Willem Dafoe. I get that trying to do like a comic book like a take on Spider-Man translation, I guess, but I just don't understand why they went for the. I find it a little confusing. They try to go for a more different take on the Green Goblin design mask, and the costume design for the Green Goblin, like it feels like they were. I mean, it feels like they were trying to make Green Goblin, so it feels like they were trying to make a something more realistic take of Green Goblin costume, but because they were afraid to go with the comic book look, because that would probably look kind of too silly, but you went with the comic book look of Spider-Man, and now that looks fine. It works. I'm pretty sure you can get with Green Goblin's look from the classic comics. One of these days, let's hope we get a proper live action look of Green Goblin from the comics. Maybe they'll save that for the main villain of the fourth Spider-Man movie, one of the main villains from Tom Holland's movie. Maybe Tom Holland's dimension will have a normalized one, and will have a cool costume of Green Goblin. One can hope. 616 Spider-Man can provide one. But William Dafoe's performance Green Goblin is fine in this movie. I liked his performance Green Goblin. Even though a lot of this, probably a lot of the movie didn't have to focus around him as much as it could have focused more on Spider-Man character. But I think this movie focuses more oddly on Willem Dafoe's character than Spider-Man's character arc. Come to think of it, I thought that was a little strange. That Spider-Man's character arc is not as an interesting character arc than the Green Goblin transforming into a villain. And in terms of being executed in pacing wise and getting most camera time than the hero as it does Strange. A way to go about it for the final product of this movie. Oh no, I thought it was cool how MJ is pretty much a fucking slut in this movie. Mary Jane Watson, played by Kristen Dunst, is pretty much a slut, and flirts with every person in the movie, and guy specimen she comes across. She flirts with Peter, she flirts with Spider-Man, even though when he doesn't know that he's Spider-Man and Peter the same person, and still flirting with Peter when she's dating Harry and sleeping with Harry and seeing Harry and dating Harry, screwing Harry, and he just was flirting with Peter. Still, when she was dating Flash Thompson in high school in the earlier scenes of the movie story, early on in the story. And still flirting with Peter before he even becomes the Spider-Man persona dons and makes the mask and stuff. And all that bullshit writing, pacing, and I enjoy how Harry's a complete piece of shit to Peter and takes control of this. It takes advantage of the situation and goes MJ out later in the story, and doesn't tell Peter about it until Peter finds out from Norman Osborn or later in the story and overhears it, and then Peter decides to go put his charm on Mary Jane and after as Spider-Man, after saving her later in the story, and she kisses the moves on Spider-Man while dating Harry Osborn later in the story, and Harry doesn't know that Spider-Man got some mushy action from MJ. And Peter becomes a dick. Is another piece of shit. I love how he's a piece of shit of a friend to his best friend Harry Osborn, who's also equally as a piece of shit to Spider-Man, who's also Peter Parker, who he thinks is the reason why his father dies at the end of Spider-Man movie, and never puts 2 and 2 together until the sequel of Spider-Man 2, by unmasking Peter in his Spider-Man costume after Doc drops him off at his house drunk. Harry is off his mind, and Rainforth kills Spider-Man after he unmasked him with his mask off, and then finds out it's Peter, and then Harry does. That was in the Adventures of Spider-Man 2, spoiler alert. I spoiled the Adventures of Spider-Man 2. And back to Spider-Man. So this movie, Spider-Man 2002, is dumb writing, is dumb execution, is dumb writing, shitty ideas, shitty changes to the source material, confusing changes to the source material down to the little details like why couldn't we get the organic web shooters. The point is, thanks to Marvel Studios, we can thank Marvel Studios for making the Maguire's film canon in the cinematic universe by saying that these are Elseworld stories. So there's reasons why these changes suck. This is the Elseworld story of where Spider-Man's story gets changed a bit, I guess this is what I'm trying to say is I'm going to talk about all these other Spider-Man movies in one video. Okay, so it's 2002 Spider-Man, crossing off that talking about now, gets a 10 out of 10. Now, on to Spider-Man 2. That's the one with Dr. Octopus. And Harry finds out that Spider-Man and Peter Parker are the same person in the twist. When Harry's drunk and off his mind, ready to kill Spider-Man, unmasked, and then finds out it's Peter Parker was Spider-Man the whole time. And still blames Peter for killing his father. And blah blah blah. So he needs to stop Octopus, Dr. Octopus. And did he ever reach out to Harry to give Harry some closure on the web on his father's death? No, he did that in the follow-up of Spider-Man 3, because that takes place sometimes a few years later after the first sequel, Spider-Man 2, from 2004, where Peter has now grown a bit of an ego, bigger than his normal ego, to a point he's become a real unlikable prick punching bag. And kisses this girl called Gwen Stacy, who's a model in this continuity, but also beloved character in the source materials. But in this same Amy Lewis, she's just a prostitute, full grafted prostitute in the plot of the movie. She's eye candy for MJ to get jealous for some reason, because her life's going to shit, because she doesn't give up a job, and her life's going to shit, and she got cut loose of the play she was part of, and cut loose of the plays, and now she has to work at this diner later in this movie, since this is Spider-Man 3, as a waitress, and also part-time sometimes singing at the diner, and but mostly as a waitress at this restaurant, that Peter finds out that his ex is at later in the plot of the movie after they break up, because Harry used blackmail for MJ to put on an act for Peter in front of Peter so she could break up with him. But Peter never wises up, realizes that was the act. He just gets jealous and tries to get revenge, and goes on a fist fight between his ex-best friend, who's Harry Osborn, becomes the new Green Goblin after he injects himself with the serum that didn't give him a split personality, but just made him stronger. How did he perfect the serum without his father's help? Oh no, this is never explained in the fucking movie. In the premise of Spider-Man 3. And that's what I liked about this movie. And Venom's in it at the last minute. After Spider-Man destroys his relationship with MJ, and also his best friend and everyone close to him, after he is taken control of and given to his most negative emotions ever and his temptations ever, into destroying his own life and connections with people and trust and everything, and as Spider-Man, as Peter Parker, as in his Peter Parker's persona, as the symbiote takes control of his mood swings. It makes him a bit of a negative Nancy prick more than before. But because he's so whiny and arrogant, he's actually kind of this black suit Spider-Man is actually kind of entertaining more than the red suit Spider-Man in a way. Then also he's dressed in black. And sure, it's a different design than the one in the comics, but it's still a cool, iconic design itself. At least the goal is right. And like Sandman worked in the movie, and how Venom and the origin story of Venom and the origin story of symbiote and symbiote story, how it all connects in the events of Spider-Man 3, of all these plot elements. I like Spider-Man 3 more than Spider-Man 2. I think Spider-Man 3 is a better sequel than Spider-Man 1. And a better Spider-Man movie than Spider-Man 2. And a better Spider-Man movie than Spider-Man 1. This one goes out with a bang. Was the best finale. And the climax is top notch. I love this movie, Spider-Man 3, and the sequel, past one, Spider-Man 2, gets another 10 out of 10. And Spider-Man 2002, I gave that a 10 out of 10, I think, right? I also gave the sequel, Spider-Man 2, a 10 out of 10, and Spider-Man 3, a 10 out of 10. That's my favorite in the trilogy with Sam Raimi's saga, I think. Yeah, my favorite one I had the most fun with was Spider-Man 3. Especially was when Spider-Man danced. and when he was being taken control of the black suit and he couldn't control, so he started dancing, and then he then he gets all negative and hits his girlfriend, slaps his girlfriend, his ex-girlfriend Mary Jane, like the bitch she is. It's something like from a fucking Looney Tunes cartoon, man. It goes far out there with this creative ideas. I love how this movie juggles more of the Sam Raimi classic fashion, was trying to like up the comedy and constantly balance drama and comedy mixed with storytelling, like the classic Sam Raimi tone that you are more used to seeing with the Evil Dead movies, in a way, the Evil Dead sequels, or more like that. It reminds me that's what this movie feels like. It feels like Sam Raimi had the most fun with this movie. The stuff, everything with the black suit of Spider-Man was so much fun and hilarious. I love this movie too, a 10 out of 10. Now, that's my review on the original trilogy to Spider-Man from 2002 to 2007 trilogy with Sam Raimi, directed by Sarah Maguire. I'm tired to do any more reviews of Spider-Man movies in this video. I can't do any more of the live-action Spider-Man movies. I'm just going to talk about the first 3 Spider-Man movies in this video. And anyway, I said I was going to talk about all these other ones, but I wore myself out talking about the first 3, so it's late now where I am. Nighttime has passed, so I'm going to end this video now and get a drink. I'm thirsty now. Blue ended. Also, my mind's tired from talking about this movie, okay? The franchise gets a 10 out of 10. I enjoy this movie franchise. Hit the thumbs up to like this video. Hit the subscribe and to grow my subscribers. Hit the comment below to let me know if I went to how you thought I did on this video. And good night, bye.